My name is Stefano Sanabria. I'm a finance exec and martial artist, and I apply the lessons and mentality from martial arts to business. What I want to talk about today is the difference, the gap between amateurs and elites. And it's a very small difference. It's a difference of millimeters. The problem we all face, that we all deal with, is that we do things on autopilot. We learn them in a certain way, or we think that we do them in a certain way that simply does not match up with reality. There's this gap in between how we think we perform and what we actually perform. And how I found this out is by Muay Thai. I started recording our fighting sessions, sparring sessions, first just to have content. We all like this stuff, share it. But in viewing back the clips, it was quite embarrassing and quite painful, because what happens is that clearly you do not move in the way that you think you move. In our heads, we're all Rotang or Khabib or Islam, very gracious, very fluid. In actuality, we don't. We have all these weird twitches and unrefined and uncalibrated, unprecise, uneconomic movements that shouldn't be in there. But that's what you notice when you start recording and reviewing yourself. A good parallel would be with speaking. It's all about precision and economy. And it's about not being messy and being very intentional with your words and everything you do when it comes to speaking. Great speakers don't talk with ums and ahs. That's a very common example. They'll take pauses. They'll take time to reflect and think on their next point. And they choose their words very specifically, because words have a very specific connotation and meaning and energy to them that can make quite a big difference from between synonyms. Synonyms. There you go, prime example. So you see this makes sense, right? When we're talking about speaking. It's all about precision and intentionality. And you can address that, again, by maybe recording yourself and reviewing it, no matter how painful. And I want to translate this to the business context. Because at the end of the day, last year, a year and a half ago, I entered a competition, a tournament for BJJ practitioners. It took me a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of preparation, so much so that I realized I need to focus this type of effort and focus on my true career, my work, because that's my domain of top performance. That's what I'll be rewarded for. That's how I drive my life forward. Why am I telling you this? The point is the way that we often look at Muay Thai or martial arts or athletics domains, that we view them as domains of top performance where everything counts. And we should treat our work like that, because that's what really counts to us often. Treat it like a pro. Be a professional, because that will pay dividends. Again, in the business context, I see a lot of sloppy performance, vague asks, lack of good call to actions, not very sharp self-presentation. The examples could go on and on and on, but the professionals, the true professionals, all have a few things in common, is that their actions are very precise, yet it's all in the details. On the surface, it might look not that different from what an intermediate performer would do. Yet in all domains of performance, it's winner takes all. The top performers, the top 5%, maybe less, they take home 80% of the profits, the revenues, the commissions, the bonuses. So you see how important this is, to pay attention to details. So I think it's clear that we see this across domains. And I think it's clear that this is something we want to address and that it does make a difference. So how do you do it? It's very simple, actually. It's as simple as a 3-step framework. You record it, or in some case you leave a paper trail. That's more realistic in business domains. You'll have lots of your own Slack messages, communications with colleagues, partners, prospects, clients, whatever is applicable to you. Maybe you have copy, maybe you're a writer, maybe you're a journalist, whatever it may be. Maybe you're a researcher or an analyst. You'll have what I call a paper trail. You'll have artifacts of your performance that you can go back and review. You can look at them. We almost never do that, but it pays to sit down from time to time, regularly, make it a habit, set it on your calendar to go back, go through it, review it, and that's step number 2. If you don't leave a paper trail, by the way, you can't record it. Maybe you have sales calls, maybe you have door-to-door calls, maybe you have presentations. These are things you can record. They're live performances, and it will pay a lot to record them. Onwards to step 2. That is actually reviewing it, which we already briefly talked about. You go through it, you check it, and you will start noticing things. You'll see patterns. You'll see little slip-ups. You'll see room for tweaks, right? So it won't be that hard to find areas for improvement. If you take that first step, you record, you leave a paper trail, and the second step, you review, you go back and you actually look at it. And then step number 3, which if you leave it there, you're still leaving a lot on the table. So you need to add the next step, which is you prepare the fix. You create something, whatever it may be, that puts you in a position where you can easily give an alternative performance the next time you're in that situation. Can be something as role-playing, how you would go through a sales call, could be changing the copy on something, could be writing down rules for style decisions that you do for your copy, can be anything, can be templates for outreach. The point is, you actually spend some time to come up with the replacing behavior that you want to do instead. The professional behavior, the elite behavior. That's what you're shooting for. You prepare that. So the next time you have it right there, you can perform it and it will be better. So it's very simple. Again, you film it, you face it, and you fix it. And if you do those 3 steps, you will go from amateur to elite in record time. If you like this video, share in the comments one thing that you'll record this week and that you will review and that you can fix something on. Besides that, like and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. This was Stefano Sanabria. I'm a finance exec and martial artist, and I apply the lessons and mentality from martial arts to business. See you on the next one.